Scoop. The Scoop. The Scoop. Covering the Sarasota County area news with opinions and passion. This is The Scoop.
You're not going to know about it because DePino didn't think it was important enough to inform you. She has essentially turned this into a de facto homeless shelter, folks. I saw primarily a bunch of homeless people in there.
The Scoop. The Scoop. Sponsored by PhilsGang.com. Only $49.95 a month.
Hey, everybody. This is the Scoop radio show, and this is Francesco, or Frankie, as my friends call me, Abbruzzino. Today is Saturday, October 18th, and our conversation today is going to revolve around several issues that are impacting us locally here within Sarasota County. We're going to be discussing the DUI law when it comes to marijuana, Mary Jane, the Diamond Divergence, and something funny that I just read before coming on the air about it, child porn issues, and the homeless question. Hopefully we'll have enough time to get to all these issues. But it's strange. I was coming in today, and just before I started recording, I was reading where the Herald came out and said, oh, alarm bells, folks. The mall's opening, and it's sparking concerns about traffic. So I sat here, and I started scratching my head, and I'm thinking, wait a second. The mall opens tomorrow. Where were you people months ago? During the development stages, during the planning stages, and now you're just scratching your head? Are you kidding me? But it's ridiculous how some of our politicians act out there. Another good example, and I'm getting off tangent here, is just in Venice. Yesterday or Tuesday, they had a meeting there, and they said, look, you know what? We're $31 million in the hole with our reserves with the pension plan. And we got to do something. We need to revisit it. That's Mayor John Hollick, his hard at work there. And they're like, wait a second. Sherman, who's up for re-election, said, hey, we just negotiated a deal a couple weeks with these guys. A couple weeks ago, we said, hey, this is the deal. It's negotiated. We're done. Now you want to renege on that 3-year deal that we told them they had? Again, politicians, the craziness. All right, let's go ahead and start talking about the DUI law with marijuana. You know, what's really crazy about this whole marijuana thing, I do the Scoop pages, Venice Scoop, Sarasota Scoop, Northport Scoop, and all that stuff. I put it on there that, a lot of times I'll put down the position of that are pro-marijuana, medicinal marijuana legislation, and some that are anti against it. And I am for it. I've come out on all my Scoop pages and said I am for it. I think I even did a show on it here. Then, but I'm a person, I like to put out the negative and the positive. I want to look at everything that's out there. I want to see what people are saying as to why it should be passed and what others are saying to why it shouldn't be passed. But I'm amazed, simply amazed at the people that will come on there and just start attacking you. And all I do is just share the articles. Next thing I know, Scoop, you suck. And they're just hammering me. And there's some of the most vicious people I've seen when you put up the anti-legislation post. It's crazy. It's like all morality goes out the window with these guys. All right. So we're talking the new DUI law with this whole marijuana. And this is something where I think I discussed where I'm for passage as long as there's controls and processes in place. But I wanted to start with by stating that driving while impaired by drugs or alcohol is a crime. It is a crime, and it must be punished. That's the way it is in all 50 states. But how do you figure out what's punishable? What level of marijuana is punishable? What if you're on medicinal marijuana? What determines this? The first crop of medical marijuana won't be available in Florida for months if the legislation is passed. But the prospect of that harvest has already highlighted this glaring contradiction in the state statutes. Florida police may have a new category of impairment to consider. Driving under the influence of a physician-recommended intoxicant. But do we have that for pain pills? I don't think we do. Assuming Amendment 2 passes on November 4th, allowing the use of medical marijuana, what are we going to do about this issue? The Sarasota Sheriff's Department, that legal or not, they're saying, hey, getting behind the wheel, if you're impaired and it's because you're using pot, it's a bad decision and we will take action. And they're training their people. I think they have 5 qualified trainers on there to detect if you are high on marijuana and impaired. They have their pin lights that are ready and proper training. And they said, we're going to be able to spot these guys. And we're going to give them the sobriety test. And there was also reminding everybody about the cost. You know, it's between $2,500 to $3,500 for DUI. And as we all know, Sheriff Tom Knight is definitely against this amendment being passed. With this new law, though, with the prescription, drivers can have a legal consumption of marijuana, while the state vehicle code prohibits motorists from having any trace of drug in their system while behind the wheel. So what are we going to do about this? How about proposing some kind of rules that anyone who accepts medical marijuana registry cards that they agree not to drive while being impaired, and consent to a field sobriety test by a police officer if asked. Though possession of a registered car alone won't constitute sufficient suspicion for an officer to seek those tests, although I can see it happening, the state relies on the field sobriety test developed by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and they use that to determine whether a motorist is impaired. Florida recognizes the test as adequate enough to establish impairment under the influence of any substance. But the tests are mostly designed to detect alcohol intoxication, not marijuana. So if those tests indicate impairment, will chemical tests follow? Unlike the drunken driving standard of 0.8 blood alcohol content, there is no state law threshold for marijuana intoxication. The presence of any marijuana metabolites, such as THC, makes a motorist subject to the DUI prosecution. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with that law and the laws that are out there. There are questions about marijuana, the active ingredients, and how and what level cannabis can be used to impair a driver's ability. Difficult decisions need to be made. For a patient in one of 17 states where marijuana has been legalized for medicinal use, how are you to know when it's legal to drive? After you sit there and you consume the medicinal marijuana, should you wait 12 hours to drive or wait a day? When will this THC level be below the 5 nanogram threshold? As you can see, just from what I'm saying to you and these questions I'm asking, this is a complicated issue. Does this approach lead to false convictions because the chemistry of marijuana is an active ingredient? You know, THC is fat soluble rather than water soluble like alcohol. And it can stay in a person's system in measurable amounts for weeks. Weeks after use, folks. How will that impact the situation? You know, if I take medicinal marijuana 2 weeks ago, it's still in my system. I get pulled over by Tom Knight and his boys at the sheriff's office. What's going to happen? Am I going to be charged with a driving under DUI, driving under the influence? Because I took medicinal marijuana and there were no set standards for me to know if I was beyond the guidelines, beyond the statutes. And like I said before on a previous show, and I've said it before on The Scoop, these are questions that I was hoping the Florida legislature would clear up. I was hoping they would get that out there. Now I'm hoping this will still be the case. If it passes on November 4th, I'm not sure when it will become legal within the state of Florida. But before it does become legal, we have to ensure that all these questions are addressed from the DUI standpoint to the different variables that are out there. And I've covered a few in past shows, folks. So, like I said, it's a complicated question. I don't have the answers. I just have a ton of questions, obviously. We're going to continue some other conversations today that involve Sarasota County. One is that Divergence Highway and the University Highway phenomena that's happening over there. We'll be right back.
Did Do you know that the stock market was up over 26% in 2013? Would you like to start making money in the stock market? For only $49.95 a month, Phil Grandy will teach and guide you on how to make profits on your investments. There are no contracts, no added fees. For only $49.95 a month, members have complete access to Phil's live training classes, daily market updates, timely alerts, and educational videos. Try philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. What makes professional traders and investors around the world successful? They are savvy. They do their homework. They look for the best deal, and they find it at Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers' platform and services are designed to minimize costs to help maximize returns. Interactive Brokers. Stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, worldwide from one account. See interactivebrokers.com for more information. interactivebrokers.com.
At philsgang.com, we're here to help you build a successful investing plan for any time frame, from current income to retirement security. Phil's Gang's technical chartists Phil Grandy and Donald Cogswell are dedicated to helping you and guiding you to make profits in the stock market. For over a decade, philsgang.com has been empowering Phil's Gang members to take control of their financial lives. We're proud to offer knowledgeable investment guidance, powerful trading tools, and investing resources that help you pursue your goals with confidence. philsgang.com has daily live webinar trading classes. They post alerts on market moves. They have tons of stock charting educational videos, and all philsgang.com material is archived. Whether you're an active trader or long-term investor, philsgang.com gives you everything you need to research stocks, place trades, and manage your portfolio. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
What makes investors around the world successful? They're savvy, they do their homework, they look for the best value, and they find it at Interactive Brokers. Phil's Gang chooses Interactive Brokers, stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, and worldwide from one account. I recommend Interactive Brokers to all my Phil's Gang members. I use it myself. Check them out. Go to philsgang.com and click on the Interactive Brokers graphic, and that's philsgang.com.
Listen to what people say about philsgang.com.
You know, I'd listened to you on the radio, and I thought, oh, I love his sense of humor. He can make trading fun. I guess this is the guy I'm going to learn to chart with. The Phil Gang. Phil, I have learned so much. It is absolutely incredible.
For a successful investing plan for any time frame, from current income to your retirement security, philsgang.com puts you on the path to making profits in the stock market.
You make it so simple if they can really grasp what you're trying to get through to them.
Only philsgang.com's Phil Grandy and Donald Cogswell teach you, coach you, and guide you to investing confidence.
Being a gang member, and you're showing us how to trade in any market, which gives you such a feeling of confidence.
Why pay an outrageous fee for a one-time weekend investing class when philsgang.com provides daily investing webinars, alerts, and investing advice for only $49.95 a month, and all material is archived? Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Hey, Phil, how about doing 2 radio shows a day?
What are you, nuts?
That's right, gang. Catch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grandy 2 times a day. Weekdays at 9 a.m. and again at 3 p.m. Eastern. Wake up with Phil, broadcasting live 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern when the market opens. Phil gives you the day's financial news, business information, and social talk like no other. Then tune into the Phil's Gang Afternoon Show live at 3 p.m. Eastern when the market closes. Phil wraps up the day's events and breaking news. Be informed with Phil and the Phil's Gang Show twice a day. Listen live at philsgang.com. It's philsgang.com. Investors who want to maximize their opportunities and minimize their losses, turn to philsgang.com. Beginner or seasoned investor, philsgang.com is where you learn to invest using professional level skills and strategies, regardless of your experience and investing goals.
Been a member for about a year, and this year I'm up around 60% on my portfolio.
I'm a new gang member. I'm up like 15% in 3 months. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving my confidence back in trading.
For only $49.95 a month, you will have access to all Phil's Gang programs, special alerts, the daily investing class, and all material is archived. So why don't you take care of your financial opportunities with philsgang.com? Operators are standing by. Simply call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com today.
Okay, this is the Scoop radio show. It is Saturday, and this is your host, Frankie Abbruzzino. And now we're going to go into this whole new mall issue, the University Mall, the traffic jams. You know, this mall, when it was before it was established, we had about 115,000 to 123,000 vehicles that would pass through there on a daily average. Now they're estimating 100,000 shoppers that are expected to be there basically through the first week, the opening week, when they've got a lot of different things going on. Yet nobody thought of any parking, or not parking, of any of the congestion, the traffic. They didn't think about it until just a couple months ago when you started reading about it. What are we going to do? They didn't even have the financing to cover this divergent diamond until out of assembly, like voila, like magic, it was there in thin air just about a week ago. And that's what I'm going to start covering here today, is this whole divergence. You got this diverging diamond plan for University Parkway and I-75, and it's funded by the state lawmakers. Somehow, the federal government came up with $90 million, and it was given to the state of Florida for various projects. Lucky us, right? Out of that $90 million, 83 of those $1 million are coming over here to build what appears to be one of the first divergent diamonds in Florida. And they're doing it to ease the congestion on what appears to be one of the first malls that have been built in the United States for some time. So what do we think about that? Now, it will not be started for a while, so we're going to have to deal with congestion. And, you know, this article by Dale Wade in the Herald-Tribune came out and said, look, there's going to be congestion. They're going to try to alleviate it over time. We got the divergent diamond. Now, any fool knows that that's going to take a while to build. And it's going to be congested. It is going to be a mess. University is a nightmare now. Imagine University with 100,000 shoppers added to it. Imagine University with construction going on with the divergent diamond. They are adding the Boulevard extension. They got the 44th Avenue extension. And they have a couple other options out there. Let me see. We got the Fort Hummer Bridge. So they're looking at other options to try to alleviate some of the traffic out there. But it's really going to be a headache, folks. Now, like I said, it will be started, but it's going to take a while. And I just have this one simple question. And that's from, me, the simpleton, Frankie Abbruzzino. And that is, why wasn't a plan devised or implemented prior to the mall being built? Back when it was being thought of. What were the city commissioners, county commissioners thinking of? What were they doing? I know. This is just crazy for me to question this type of stuff. I mean, what kind of fool would have asked this? That's me, the fool. So what do we do in the meantime, folks? Should we blame Benderson? Benderson didn't care. He didn't want to have to deal with it. And this is all part of the impact fee, where it basically disappeared. The impact fee it's there, and it should have been remaining in place at a higher level to have these developers that are coming in, the Neils of the world that are, the people that are building these 8,000 new resident neighborhoods, the Bendersons of the world, so that they will help pay for the roads through these impact fees. But not Benderson, no. He gets his special treatment. So I'd love to blame him, but the council won't. But right now we got to blame the county. After all, most of the traffic will be coming to this exit. And you know what, that exit, it's not just the mall, and why I place a lot of blame on Benderson. He also has that park there. The rowing club park. He pushed to have that. His company, Senka, that he has ties to, they manage it. So he's got the rowing park, the new mall, all cash cows for him, and he doesn't have to pay for any of these traffic congestion issues that are out there. So, again, why aren't they responsible for coming up with a short-term solution to deal with the 40,000 tourists that are going to come out to this international rowing championship? To deal with 100,000 people that are coming out to the new mall? Or how about the developer Neil bringing in 8,000 new homes and families? Why did the county just basically dismiss this impact fee? Local politicians And public officials knew. They knew about this infrastructure issue, and yet they did nothing. Nothing at all. Well, let me correct myself. They did approve major commercial and residential projects without any foresight into solving the infrastructure issue. I don't know how I missed that, right? An even bigger and better question is, though, why? Why have the local governments decided to lower that impact fee, folks? Why aren't the politicians making it part of their deal? You got these mega malls. When they're built, why isn't it part of the deal? I mean, go out there and just call me the mad guy, the crazy guy, Frankie. But it does not seem like a far-fetched idea to let Benderson know that they can build their mall if they contribute X to the infrastructure, if they pay an impact fee, if they pay an increased impact fee. It makes sense to me. Why in God's name would we let them develop this property, and which is going to significantly increase traffic, without having a plan for infrastructure? It's pure craziness. And yet, the county commissioners will turn around and say, oops, we just realized this a day before opening. Wow, there's going to be traffic issues, folks. You know, why are we lowering this impact fee and moving all the burden over to the taxpayers? Now we have the burden of covering this project with tax dollars and dealing with this nightmare traffic scenario. People think it's congested now. Oh, boy. What do you think it's going to be like with the traffic, with all this construction and all these new people coming in? The county and city should be charging growth impact fees with the developers when they build these projects. They should not be lowering them. That's what pays for our roads, our schools, our parks, and the fire departments. Why am I being asked to cover the water and sewer for Neil's new homes? Why am I being asked to cover the cost to build these new roads for this mall for the revenue for Benderson and Taubman? Don't tell me for jobs, folks, because these types of jobs aren't the high-end, high-paying jobs. No. We're being asked to pay the entire infrastructure so that Neil, Benderson, and Taubman can line their pockets, folks. Line their pockets. It's a disgrace. And we'll be right back.
Attention all listeners, meet PhilsGang.com's very own Phil Grandy at the Financial Fest Expo 2014 in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. That's right, Phil Grandy of the Phil's Gang Radio Show will be appearing at the Financial Fest Expo on Saturday, November 15th, where Phil will be delivering 2 presentations. This event is a great opportunity to meet Phil and bring everyone from beginners to established investors together with the nation's premier stock trader, Phil Grandy. The Financial Fest Expo is free to the public, so mark your calendars and join Phil Grandy in Scottsdale, Arizona on Saturday, November 15th at the Westin Kierland Resort. For more info on Financial Fest Expo, go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Financial Fest graphic. The Financial Fest Expo in Scottsdale, Arizona on Saturday, November 15th. Remember, for information, go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. And we'll see you in Arizona.
In order to succeed in trading the markets, you have to grasp all the elements. When it comes to good health, PhilsGang.com has commissioned Nobel Prize nominee, author, and creator of Dead Doctors Don't Lie, Dr. Joel Wallach, to guide us to the necessary elements of health and vitality. After 17,000 autopsies and years of scientific study, the doctor has concluded that the human body needs 90 essential elements, and a shortage of any can lead to over 900 diseases. PhilsGang.com has taken Dr. Wallach's lead and set up a website, philsganghealth.com, offering the most impactful health supplement products money can buy. Dr. Wallach's Simple Healthy Body System will deliver all 90 essential ingredients in a microform your body can use. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose but ill health. Go to philsganghealth.com and get started on your healthy body challenge today. Again, philsganghealth.com.
USA Today says a federal website aimed at tracking government money can't find $619 billion.
Most employees are in the dark. If you're not aware of what you're paying, then at the end of a 30-year working career, you can have a lot less in retirement savings than you expected to have.
I think it's time to declare the 401k a failure.
The Dow taking a huge hit, impacting 401k.
You're fine. You don't pay attention to the value of your house every day. Don't pay attention to your portfolio every day. Have a good, sound plan so you can go on and enjoy life.
I wonder why they tell you not to pay attention to your plan. Of course, because they're stealing your money. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and get my retirement investment fund where you keep the money, not them.
philsgang.com teaches, coaches, and guides you on how to invest and trade in the stock market. We help you keep your money. For more information, go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Call today.
What makes investors around the world successful? They're savvy. They do their homework. They look for the best value, and they find it at Interactive Brokers. Phil's Gang chooses Interactive Brokers, stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, and worldwide from one account. I recommend Interactive Brokers to all my Phil's Gang members. I use it myself. Check them out. Go to philsgang.com and click on the Interactive Brokers graphic, and that's philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com, and I want to talk to you a little bit about retirement. Did you know that 75% of the people who are just 6 years away from retiring don't have enough money to retire, to live the lifestyle they've grown accustomed to? That's right. So what are they going to do? Well, they're going to suffer. They've run out of time. But if you have not run out of time, then you have an alternative to a 401k, which just 1% in a fee takes away 28% of your income. You know that the average is 3%, which means on $1 million that you lose 75% of your retirement. You've got to keep those fees for yourself. The 401k has been a Ponzi scheme, but they spent billions of dollars in marketing to convince you otherwise. Check out my retirement fund, the Working Investment Retirement Fund, where you keep the money. philsgang.com.
Get real guidance with your trades and investments. Simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264 and ask about the Working Investment Retirement Fund. That's 877-600-4264.
Every single one of his medical bills, everything is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Hey everybody, this is Scoop Radio Show on Saturday edition, and this is your humble host, Frankie Abbruzzino. And I did forget to mention something, and I need to mention it. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. They are the sponsors of this program. You really need to listen to this guy. He's a guru. He's a financial guru. He is on from 9 o'clock and at 3 o'clock live, Monday through Friday, at philsgang.com and any of the nationally syndicated stations. So check them out. Now, we're going to get into the homeless question. And I know it seems like I'm always talking about the homeless, but it's an ongoing issue. It's an ongoing controversy. It's something new that's always popping up. You know, be it the safe places for the homeless in Northport, the safe place, the family place in Sarasota, to the collection cannons that the downtown merchants have out in their windows. Something's always happening. Something's always evolving and developing with it. So we're on the homeless question again. And the city's decision not to build the homeless shelter after the recommendation by Dr. Robert Marbury. You know, that doctor, I've harped on it before. We've paid well over $120,000. I think we're paying $5,000 a month. And it continues to puzzle me. And not just me, it puzzles many of us. And were they playing politics as usual? And all I know is that the homeless people continue to plague the Sarasota area. Not only the Sarasota, I was driving here in Venice, right on the corner of 41 by the new government subsidized housing. And they were all over on the bench there. And you have many people that are complaining about them there because they're defecating everywhere. They're allegedly having sex. They're allegedly doing drugs there. And so this is concerning a lot of people. And you have the same situation down on Main Street with the homeless. Now, not all homeless are like that, and I get that. There's a few bad apples that'll ruin it for everybody and just painting this negative image out there. All I know is that it's an issue, in particular on the sidewalks and streets right around the Salvation Army and Shelby Library. We just had the other day an individual, she was nice enough to hand this homeless person some money. You know, they hold up the sign, hey, we'll work for money or food or whatever they do. And what's he do? He mugs her and takes more of her money. This happened over on Main Street, I believe. And it should not be happening. So, how will the homeless question, how will it impact the city's future? Are the downtown care boxes, are those the solution? It might have been in this case, if the lady would have dropped the money in the box, they would have given it to the local homeless charities that are out there that have different programs to help these people. Sarasota Downtown Merchants Association, they distributed these 36 boxes, and they're stationed in businesses throughout this 10-block territory. Holds up a little card with information about free meals and bears the words Downtown Cares, give the card in lieu of cash. So essentially what they're telling people is, hey, drop some money in the box, take the card. And instead of hand money to the person, the homeless individual, hand them the card. Let them know where they can go for free food. Sounds like a great idea. I don't know if it's practical. I sort of have doubts about that, but it's a good idea. And the merchants are to be they're to be commended for taking action on this issue. Now, you have solutions like the Harvest House in Sarasota or the Family Haven in Northport. Now, those were recommendations by Dr. Marbury. Those are the two that have probably been instituted that he suggested. The rest have been basically shot down or in work. These are short-term solutions, though, for families. They have ran out of options. You know, the family doesn't know what to do anymore. They're living on the street. They're living in their car. So they bring them in. And they say, hey, look, here's a case manager. We're going to help you find a job. We're going to help you find some form of housing. And they try to get them back on their feet. Excellent idea. These facilities keep the families together. They provide a comprehensive service. And this service empowers them to achieve a lasting self-sufficiency, which we want. You know, they're helping the families experience the homelessness by providing for their immediate needs of shelter and stability. Will any of these solutions work or help the current situation with the homeless throughout Sarasota County? I think it will help. It will help certain individuals that want the help. I don't know if it will help the drug mentality that we see mainly down by Selby, where many of these homeless people out there are actually dealing drugs, dealing synthetics. Perhaps the solution is to pack up all their belongings and throw them out of the homeless camp like we saw down in Venice. Residents were expressing concerns last month over these homeless individuals doing drugs, sort of the stuff I mentioned earlier. So the Venice PD, they went down. They visited the camp and threw out all the belongings. And they said, hey, look, we're doing this. We're a lot of people came in and said, why don't you give them some dignity? Let them take their stuff and move on. This cop said, hey, look, we try to find the people that belong to the stuff. It's an unsafe environment. If they were here, we'd give it to them. If they're not here, we're tossing it. And the chief said that the action was taken because of safety. And he pointed out that just 50 to 100 feet away is another camp that was not even being touched. And I guess the issue was some wellhead there. The city employee had some issues with it because they were urinating, defecating, vomiting, and stuff on this wellhead, which was a safety concern. In comparison, they did not touch that other camp, though. Look, there is no easy answer. Giving money to the homeless is an economic crisis of the heart. It's a tug of war between your instinct to alleviate the suffering and the knowledge that a donation might encourage rather than relieve the anguish of the poor. Since panhandlers often have no way to save their money, They're incentivized to spend most of their day's earnings quickly. And what do they spend it on? Do they spend it on drugs? Do they spend it on beer? Do they spend it on liquor, cigarettes? Or do they go out and try to spend it on food? Look, since panhandlers often have no way to save this money, we don't know what happens to it. They just go out and they spend it. Then this creates a tendency to spend them go out and spend on short-term relief rather than long-term needs, which can feed into their dependency of alcohol or drugs. What would happen if you provided money and strings? After all, homeless often need something more than money. Many of them need money and direction. For most homeless people, direction means a job and a roof. Organizations can obviously do more for these needy than we can do with change in our pocket. But does that mean we should never, ever, ever give? If there were swarms of beggars within the tourist locations of the town, and they became more generous in giving, the local beggars wouldn't get any richer. They only would multiply. The word would get out on the street. Generous pedestrians attract more beggars, which is something Sarasota County does not want or need. And I'm certain that there are some cases where donations to an especially needy beggar are justified. But the ultimate danger in panhandling is that we don't give it to every single one of them. There's not enough change in our purses, folks. If we drop the change into the beggar's hand without donating to a charity, we're acting to relieve our guilt rather than taking care of this underlying crisis of poverty. The same calculus applies to the beggar who relies on panhandling for booze. In short, both sides fail each other, folks. They fail each other by being lured into a fleeting sense of relief rather than a lasting solution to the structural problem of this homeless question. If we wish to engage with someone who currently is homeless, I believe the best thing to do is show them respect, support, and help them with their plight. Give them direction. Point them in the right direction to one of these facilities. Okay, folks. That's a homeless question. We're going to talk about pedophilia. Some of these pedophiles that are out there in the latest bust with this Sarasota guy. Very disturbing, very concerning for me. We'll be right back.
Did you know that the stock market was up over 26% in 2013? Would you like to start making money in the stock market? For only $49.95 a month, Phil Grandy will teach and guide you on how to make profits on your investments. There are no contracts, no added fees. For only $49.95 a month, members have complete access to Phil's live training classes, daily market updates, timely alerts, and educational videos. Try philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. What makes professional traders and investors around the world successful? They are savvy, they do their homework, they look for the best deal, and they find it at Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers platform and services are designed to minimize costs to help maximize returns. Interactive Brokers, stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, worldwide from one account. See interactivebrokers.com for more information. interactivebrokers.com. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grandy, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Phil Grandy is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's being taken care of. What they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Hey, Phil, how about doing 2 radio shows a day?
What are you, nuts?
That's right, gang. Catch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grandy 2 times a day. Weekdays at 9 a.m. and again at 3 p.m. Eastern. Wake up with Phil, broadcasting live 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern when the market opens. Phil gives you the day's financial news, business information, and social talk like no other. Then tune into the Phil's Gang Afternoon Show live at 3 p.m. Eastern when the market closes. Phil wraps up the day's events and breaking news. Be informed with Phil and the Phil's Gang Show twice a day. Listen live at philsgang.com. It's philsgang.com.
PhilsGang.com is a powerful online website for novice and experienced stock traders and investors who demand professional-grade online tools, superior customer support, and extensive investing education. Not sure how to trade or invest in stocks? PhilsGang.com is your #1 educational source for online stock trading and investing material, with daily webinars, individual charting videos, and programs customized to make you a smarter, more informed investor. It's as simple as following PhilsGang.com's Phil Grande and Donald Cogswell. When they buy, you buy. And when they short stocks, you short. In this volatile market, wouldn't it be nice to have someone guide and coach you to create wealth in the stock market? Well, you can with PhilsGang.com. Simply go to PhilsGang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Scoop Radio Show. This is Frankie Abbruzzino, and now we are going to talk about some concerns I have in regards to people that are arrested, like the Sarasota guy that was arrested with child pornography. I'm going to start it out with a little bit of a story, and it's a story about what happened to me last weekend. I'm one of those very protective parents. My 14-year-old, I remember what 14-year-olds were like when I was a kid here in Venice. And so mine are not allowed out. You know, if they go to the movies, I still want a parent there. When it's dark, they got to sit right in front of my house if they're allowed to do that. And I have to meet the parents. I do all that stuff that I think is good to try to keep them out of trouble. But you see, last weekend I ran into a snag. My 14-year-old said, "Hey, Dad, can I go over to my friend's house?" And I said, "Sure, you've been there before." You know, and I met the parents. They seem like fine, outstanding individuals. So she goes there, they're hanging out. I don't know what they're doing. You know, I go to bed, and next thing I know, at 5 a.m, I'm getting my door banged down. I'm like, what the heck is this? I go out there, and it's the mom, the mother. She says, yeah, sorry to wake you, but the kids disappeared around 11 last night. I'm thinking, oh, my God, I'm scratching my head. What do you mean they disappeared? And apparently, you know, and she has where you have one house on 5 acres. It's huge. It's not lit up. Not an area you'd want your 14-year-old kid run around at. So she said, regardless, she said they disappeared, and I didn't want to bug you guys. I'm like, you didn't want to bug us. So we go out to their house. We call the police. All the parents show up there, and we're all trying to get this resolved. Where are they? We find out through Instagram that they took a picture at the pier. I hustled down that way. I'm driving all around, looking all over for my daughter, thinking the worst. And apparently what happened is these 4 young ladies decided, hey, let's give this buddy a call that can drive. He picked them up, brought them to the pier, and left them all there. No drinking, no alcohol, nothing was involved. People on my Scoop page, because I posted the picture there, partly to embarrass, partly to find them, they said, oh, yeah, we saw them out there. And I was scratching my head thinking, you saw 14-year-olds out there saying they were left there, abandoned, at 3:30 in the morning, and you didn't call us, you didn't get them a ride home, but I didn't even want to go there. So it brought up concerns, folks. Okay? And that's when you read these stories about someone like this child pornography. And that's what was going through my head. This guy was just arrested last week for child pornography. Detectives determined that his IP address was used to download 87 files that contained hash values that were previously identified with child pornography. And that's the first thing that just kept going through my head. What if my kid was taken? And I was really freaked out about it. No parents want to see this happen with their kid. And I know it's weird. I'm going from this, what happened to my daughter, into the pornography, but that's the first thing that ran in my head was some freak out there grabbed these poor kids, and oh my God. And I say that because of all the sex offenders that are living here. I do the sex offender registry. I get the emails all the time. I put them out on my scoop pages. Northport gets a ton. Venice gets a ton. And I put them out there, and I put their pictures out there. To me, it's a good deed. It's a service. You're saying, hey, tell these kids to stay away. I remember one individual, she actually works here at Phil's Gang. She didn't realize that the guy living across the street was a major pedophile. And she has a young 12-year-old daughter. And she was living directly across the street from this guy until she saw me put it out on the scoop. So when I hear stories like that, it makes me feel good about doing it. No matter how many people criticize me for doing this. You'd be amazed at how many people come back and say, he did his time. And I think he did his time. He did. And many of these people don't even do time. What about the poor kid he sexually abused? What about that poor kid? He did his time. It just amazes me. So the question is, how many of you regularly check this registry? Are you out there looking, making sure that your kids are safe? The registry is a dark and depressing site to visit. I know, I get that. You see some of these heinous crimes and you think, why? What is wrong with these people? It lists various levels of convicted sex offenders, their mugshots, their offenses, their addresses. It's no fun reading it on a daily basis, but you have to nowadays in this society because there are so many out there and we need to protect our kids. Like I said, I get the updates. I send them out as much as I can. And I want to bring about that awareness. As a responsible parent, what are we supposed to do with this information that a person has been convicted of a sex crime against children? Many of them repeat offenders. They live nearby. What I love some of the ideas. Let's put a red sign up in their yard saying, I'm a repeat offender. You do have that in certain Florida cities. But you got to sit down. You tell your child that this is a new neighbor. He has a history of being unsafe with kids. And that it's not a good idea for you to go near them. Then inform the child that if the person comes near them or tries to talk to them, to depart from their presence immediately and connect with someone, a trusted adult. There is no safe guidelines, and we can try to be as safe as we want, like I try to be with my 14-year-old. But situations occur. Situations occur, and you got to hope that your kid is smart enough to find a way out of it, to do the right stuff. We can try to teach them all day long and guide them through life to make sound decisions so that we can only hope it sticks. And at 14, nothing is better than the watchful eye of the parents. Get to know your neighbors. Keep a watchful eye out there for your kids. The community as a whole should work together to keep these kids safe. One person wrote on my scoop page, like I said, that they saw them. As a community, why didn't you do something? It's like me. I was down at the South Jetty one day surfing. There was a young 15-year-old, two of them, drunk, middle of the day. My daughter knew one of them. She fell down was laying face first in the sand. And I went over and I helped her. And I'm like, I got to get her out of here. And I'm like, what's your parents' number? I was going to call her parents. She couldn't talk. So I called the VPD because I was really worried. I was not going to leave this poor kid there on the beach like that. Would you believe that I was ridiculed for it? People were upset that I called the VPD down there. But as a community, we have to do this stuff, folks. We don't have we can't sit there and worry that our friends will ridicule us. And back to this whole offender issue. I suggest not only checking it, but watching it, observing it. Because remember that not all registered sex offenders are prohibited from living within certain feet of school and the children they frequent. There's different rules, and some offenders, I found out, don't even have to register if they were convicted prior to the laws that were put into place. So we have to be aware of this too. I think there was in Venice there was some kind of preacher or something at a local strange church. I don't even remember the name of it, but he was a convicted child sex offender from up north, and he was here in Venice. This was a couple years ago. Nobody knew about it. He wasn't on the registry because he was convicted prior to the law requiring it to be put on the registry. All right? Kids are our future, folks. We need to watch out for them and hope and pray they make the right decisions in life. All right, I do a daily news show, the uncensoredreport.com, where I talk about national and international alternative news like ISIS, the Ebola crisis, the financial crisis out there. So check it out. It is Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. until 12. And if you miss it, don't fret. It stays up there archived on the website. So check it out. And for Frankie, I will be back next week. Remember to check out philsgang.com. He's a great sponsor of mine. Thank you.
This has been the Scoop Radio Show, sponsored by philsgang.com.
That's all.